Hey, great. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of Lead Sites Live. This is Chris. I'm actually sharing my camera today, which is really uncommon for when we do these webinars, but it's finally springtime in New Mexico, and I think I have some really nice light going on behind me, so I thought it would be a good time to do it. Today, we're being joined by Patty Sampson, who is coming to us from EngageMore CRM. Thank you so much for joining us today, Patty. We basically wanted to talk a little bit about something, we always do these webinars about Facebook retargeting ads, how to run an effective, Google PPC. That's actually what we talked about, last month was some specific Google efforts that you can make. We thought it'd be great this month to kind of go over that post lead capture. Once you got somebody in your funnel, how can you really effectively make sure that you're utilizing your time with them, the time that they have their eyeballs on your emails, their eyeballs on your site? How can you really effectively follow up with that person and hopefully kind of bring them over, get them under contract? So Patty, thank you so much for joining us. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's so amazing to be here. I'm thankful. So I know we don't have a lot of time, and I could be here for hours talking about my obsession. And my obsession is don't spend money on lead generation until you have your follow-up in place. That's my goal. So my background is I spent 17 years working for attorneys and then quit my job cold turkey in 2004 at the height of the real estate market here in Scottsdale, Arizona, to become a real estate agent. I had 2 teenage boys at home, quit my job, went out and started working tens of thousands of internet leads at the company that provided those to me. It was wonderful at the time when you think about it, but to be honest with you, when you're paying them 65% of everything you do, sold 42 homes my first year in real estate, working for that company, and barely made $82,000. But here's what I'll tell you, I learned a hell of a lot how to automate and to follow up with my business. And so
beautiful.
We're going to cut to the chase. And after all these years, after a long time coming, I finally opened the doors to my own software, CRM software, just this past year. It's starting to get out there now. People are starting to learn about us. And I am so thrilled because my very first integration with this software is with EasyAgentPro. And so we've got a direct integration where people can sign up and get their leads dumped right into our system. So we'll talk more about the software here in a little bit, but I'm here to talk more about how can I get you guys to close more of your deals, right?
Love it. Absolutely amazing. And we will definitely be talking about EngageMore. You guys might be wondering like, hey, why are you demoing, a product that is not part of the EasyAgentPro platform? And it's for the exact reasons that Patty said. She has an incredible lead follow-up system and, has just sage wisdom about these particular topics. And we, offer, her services kind of wrapped up in our platform on a certain package. And just wanted to get your eyes in front of it because it's always a good idea, to kind of be exploring and seeing what other folks are doing and, kind of how you can utilize the tools that you have, be it EasyAgentPro CRM, if you want to continue to use that. Yeah. Or if you see this and you're like, hey, EngageMore looks like it really whips. I want to try that out. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, when you start with EasyAgentPro and, you're a new EasyAgentPro client, the CRM platform that you see pretty bare bones looking. It's obviously a blank canvas. You got a lot of room there for, either adding campaigns, kind of setting up a tagging system, things along those lines. But my basic question for you, Patty, is, if you had an agent coming into the EasyAgentPro platform, the EngageMore platform, maybe there's somebody that's watching this that is under contract with another CRM and they can't get out of that for 6 months. How would you recommend somebody would organize or start to organize incoming leads when they're starting with a new CRM system?
Oh, that is such an amazing question. And I get it every single day. And because we know that moving from one CRM to another is like the worst thing ever. Everybody hates it. It's like moving houses. But here's what I always tell people. First of all, we always want to start with the lowest hanging fruit when we're moving in. So you don't want to try to bring in 10,000 leads at one time because honestly, you won't learn the system. So what we want you to do is figure out 2 things, the 2 most important things you can find out about your database before you move it is what kind of lead is it? A contact type. What kind of contact type? And I usually will say, what kind of human is it? Is it a buyer? Is it a seller? A tenant, investor, or a sphere type individual? Some of us have agents in there. If we're doing recruiting, we might do property management. For the most part, though, it's what's the contact type? The second thing we need to know is what is the status. So basically, where is that prospect or lead in the process? So are they brand new? Are they prospecting? And I usually will call that an old stale type lead because we still are trying to figure out if they're even talking to us. Are they an active person that you're actively working with? So you're either listing their house or out showing a home or getting ready to. Are they closed? Or maybe they're just nobody you're actively working with, there's somebody in your sphere. So when you know those two things, the contact type and the status, we can now put everyone into buckets. And those buckets will get this lead or this campaign and this, and so because the last thing you want to do is send an engagement campaign out to somebody that you closed yesterday, or you're out showing homes to somebody right now and they're getting a text from you today that says, how's your home search coming along? So you have to know those two things. And when you do, it's easy to put them in buckets. And then you asked about the flags. I'm going to bring this up really quick because I get that question all the time. Flags or tags. Really quickly, you can set up your tags and your flags based on three things I usually do. Is number one, I'm usually going to put in there what I did with the lead. That's what I use the tag for. I also use the tag for what is the lead looking for. So if they're looking for single family resident or three bedroom homes or homes with a pool, you can put a flag on them. And then a hotness level possibly. And I rarely will use a time-based hotness level like 1 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months because that gets obsolete. And if you're not staying on top of that, it doesn't really, it doesn't mean anything to you after a while. So I'll usually use a color code.
Very good, very good. That's great because we definitely have a lot of folks. I know that when I'm demoing, kind of a product to people, I love to hear that kind of start small mentality. We do have the ability to import leads with our CRM. And a lot of people are like, okay, great. I have, 650 people that are on IDX drip campaigns. I would like them to, be imported and set up on those IDX drip campaigns day one of me having a new website. So that wouldn't necessarily be something that you would recommend though.
No, what I would recommend, well, first of all, you have to, if you're lead generating through the pay-per-click type thing, you're getting leads coming in online, right? So you want to have a campaign set up to deal with those people as soon as you can, so that you're not losing an opportunity, because we know that most people are going to work with the agent who responds first and the fastest. So you want to have that automated as fast as you can. So you need a good, solid campaign for either the buyer seller type ad. But when you're moving into a CRM, normally what I'm saying is we want to work with old, stale buyer leads, honestly, are the lowest hanging fruit when you're trying to learn the software. And ideally bring in 50, 100 leads and learn off of those people. Turn on a re-engagement campaign. And so what you're doing when you're exporting the leads out of your other system, if you've got it set up like I just mentioned, the contact type and the status, you can run a search for those people, you should be able to, and export just that group of people. That's it.
Yeah.
Bring in just that group of people because you'll be able to clean that database up easier because they're all the same types. Now, if you've got 10,000 leads and they're all over the place, you will never get that database cleaned up. You will never do it. And then you won't make the move and you'll get frustrated and you'll be ready to, that'll be ready to spin off because everybody hates that part.
And I love hearing you use that word clean in particular because, obviously a big part of, running a business, as you know, and as we know at EasyAgentPro is, having, a database of information, but being able to extract meaningful information out of it. So like you were saying, if you just start low with that low hanging fruit, those old buyer leads, get those imported. And that is definitely a possibility with EngageMore CRM for sure. And also with EasyAgentPro, you can basically you can set lead statuses and lead types are automatically determined by where the lead came in on the EasyAgentPro CRM. But you can also use tags for these too. And tags are effective because they can automatically trigger campaigns and things like that. And I know that Patty referred to are they called flags within EngageMore?
In our system, they're flags, but
flags,
tags, they're all kind of the same. what I try to avoid people from doing is, if you've got an option like our system has, to actually say the source is this, the contact type is this, the status is this, those are fields in our system, then I don't want to see you go in and put those in a flag either, because now your ideal thing is to be able to come in and identify the hottest people in your database. And if you've got 10 different flags and then you also have them in the contact types, you're going to have a hell of a time running a search every day to find that group of people that you want to talk to today, you know? So if you're duplicating something and you've got that now, you know, I got to be honest, I haven't gone in too much to see all of the types of stuff, the fields yet in here, but you know, use your tags and your flags for searching and identifying and tracking everything that's going on if you can in there. And then you can run quick searches based on those things.
Beautiful, love it. Yeah, so great advice. So, you know, for that first question, what you would recommend, we are just starting small. We are trying to keep our data clean. Yep. And starting with those old buyer leads as well.
And when I say old, I mean less than 2 years old. The newer, the better, but don't go, like, you can send out a little touchy-feely if they're older than that, but you know, or they might be ready to buy again if you've missed an opportunity. So, but yeah, less than 2 years old usually is what I'm kind of aiming for.
Perfect. Yeah.
They're going to be the hotter ones because they probably started researching, you know, not that long, you know,
during
first
that time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Within that window. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, great. So my next question for you would be, you know, when agents are kind of setting things up, their lead follow-up, what are some common mistakes that you see that, you know, when folks are, you know, kind of first starting this process, like what are they getting into and that they might not want to do? Well,
the first mistake is you're going to go out and lead generate and not have a follow-up system in place. So that's problem number one. And most of us are so excited to go out and get, we're getting leads. They're going to drop in my lap. I'm going to make $1 million off my sales. But as I always tell people, there is no money in lead generation. There's money in lead follow-up. And there's money when people are trusting you and you're educating. So the first thing you got to do is get a software that you know, that you understand, and that you can learn. You actually are willing to sit down and learn it, because I can give you drip campaigns. And by the way, that's how I got started, was selling my drip campaigns after my real estate career.
Oh, wonderful.
So I would just sell the campaigns, and then people asked me, well, can you help build them in my CRM? So I started training in the CRM. So but the bottom line is you got to know how to use it, because if you don't, we can't be behind your desk all day showing you how to turn off a campaign when somebody says they're ready to go. So, you know, you really need to learn it. And that is part of the biggest struggle, I think. So big, huge mistakes there. And then when you get into a CRM, a lot of times you're going into one because somebody suggested it and they love it. But the reality is not everybody is cut out for every CRM. You're looking at your technology level, your ability to learn. What is the support like? How much more support do you need? Are you okay with video training? I mean, there's so much. And what does that system have? Do you need a dialer? If that system doesn't have it, you know, do you need to have video emailing? Do you need video texting because that your friend said, oh, you got to have it because of this, but then you never do any videos. So you have to decide what's most important to you in your business and make sure that you research the CRM and that it covers what you want. Okay, so that's the key. Now, the next problem we have is we're relying on, I want to call them crappy drip campaigns that are built in most of these softwares.
Yes.
And again, that's why I have a business today. Because people followed me, because I'm a real estate broker working this business, a top producer, I was in the day, and I had to get this figured out to be able to automate everything. So we want to get our mail open, so we need better subject lines, and most of the systems have terrible subject lines. Calls to action, they don't even exist, because here's the thing, a call to action is not, hey, let me know when you're ready. That is not a call to action. The call to action is a straight out question, because if you don't ask, they're never going to respond. Right?
I love that.
Right. So, and the question could be as simple as, you know, would you like my buyer guide? I mean, just get an answer. That's all you need. Then you know that they're actually listening, right?
Yeah.
And then the other problem is, like, we'll go use these campaigns in these systems and we won't understand what is being sent. Because we don't know how to use the system, we don't understand and we don't know what's being sent. And then we might rely a lot on our lead generation company because they're going into their favorite software, setting it up and telling us to go in there and use that. And then you're not delivering what the people asked for because they never showed you or they never told you you needed to. And bottom line is, in real estate, if they're asking for a list of homes, they don't want it just once. They want it over and over again until they find their house. So that's our next problem, right? So there's a lot to it, but it's not as difficult as it sounds if you can get stuff pre-made that is good, for number one, but you still have to learn your software.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is a great point, because we definitely do see a lot of folks come in, because absolutely not all CRMs are created equal. And, you mentioned that some reasons that some folks use CRMs are, it was recommended by somebody. It's another one that we see a lot, it's provided by their broker. It's something that's already given to them, but they don't necessarily know how to use it. Same thing with, I would say, the EasyAgentPro CRM is somewhere in between those two, because it's part of our platform. It is an option, but we definitely do see folks that are not necessarily, utilizing the tools, and it doesn't end up being an effective part of the follow-up. But I think that is, like what you said right at the beginning there, was kind of one of the best pieces of advice that I've heard in terms of CRMs, and that you have to have your follow-up set up before you're generating the leads.
You start. You know how many people I've worked with who started running ads and were getting leads hand over fist, but had to shut them off?
Yes.
Because they couldn't handle the follow-up. So what we want to do is set up good follow-up and be able to identify who's opening our mail and who's clicking on stuff inside of our mail, especially if you don't have one of those sites like, that can see everything that's going on. And that way, at least you can identify the hottest business based on them engaging with you, with what you're sending, and whether or not they're clicking on what you're sending. And so that's a really powerful thing to be able to do. But let me just say this, when you mentioned about getting it from your broker. I get it from my broker, it's free. Well, first of all, does your broker teach you how to use it? Did they give you content? Most of them, unfortunately, don't, because they're not tech savvy. They're just telling you, go use it because it's provided by to us.
Right.
So that's a problem. And then if you get one that's really cheap, you might get something, you don't realize you're getting it because it's part of your MLS or something. And then you have to pay to upgrade to get more email and more texting credits or video or any of those things. And then are they teaching you to use it? Again, it's only as good as you know how to use the thing. And you don't have to be, super technology. You just have to take the time to learn the most important things that work for your business and the system.
Yeah, which definitely can seem like, I know it's got to seem like a hurdle to a lot of folks right now, especially carving out time to do a little bit of that learning, just because the market is so busy and you got so much going on. But I think, as Patty really effectively demonstrated there, taking that time to learn the software and understand how it works is going to pay so much in terms of dividends, kind of down the line. So great advice there. And then we touched on something a little bit, which was actually my next question. You were talking about calls to action. And my next question was basically, if you had a recommendation or a tactic for a way that agents, can really put together attention-grabbing emails and texts, things that will set them apart a little bit from, maybe the white noise of all the other emails coming their way.
And there is so much. As agents, we get a lot of this stuff, but the consumers are getting everything too, just they're seeing different things. But the first thing we have to realize is that they might have signed up on our website, but guaranteed they've been to Zillow, they've been to Realtor.com, they've been to all of our competitors out there and signed up. And so they're getting, if the people are doing their jobs right, those agents that are getting those leads are also, bombarding them with stuff. So what are you going to do to stand out? Well, the first thing I would suggest, I'm going to give you my highest top tip ever.
Okay.
What you want to do is go into your email service provider. So whatever you're using, if you're just sending Google emailing, whatever it is, go into your account and change your name. Because when I say change your name, if you're doing a Zillow campaign, for instance, or you're doing pay-per-click, right? They don't know you from Adam right now when they're signing up. So when they're getting an email from stranger Patty Sampson, and the from line says Patty Sampson, and the subject line says, thanks for registering, where in there does it say that you're a real estate agent? So you gotta get your mail open. So my suggestion is you go into your profile, change your first, we'll keep your first name if you want. I usually will change my last name. I'll say Patty, and then the last name says AZ Home Info. They don't give a crap that my last name is Sampson. On top of that, I don't have to take the time in my subject line to explain that I'm a real estate agent. So they can
Right.
see it in the front line when it goes in their inbox, they're going to see it in that front line. Now your subject lines, please always mention something about real estate. I really hate the "would you like to meet for coffee" thing. First of all, nobody wants to meet you for coffee, especially today. They just don't, right? So I hate that. That is fluff. It is garbage. And what we'd rather see you say is today's new listings in Scottsdale. Scottsdale home deals this week. You know, the market updates in Scottsdale. You've got to make them know that you're providing them information that they're going to want to open and look at, and not just once, but over and over. So if you screw up coming out of the chute, they're never going to open up anything you send them after that. So you've got to make sure that they're getting value from the minute that they sign up. So especially if they're signing up online for some sort of offer, a zip code list, whatever it is, you have to be sure you're delivering the first thing that they asked for. If it's a guide, make sure they're getting it. And even if you redirected them over there when they signed up, do you really think that they sat there and read the whole thing? Resend it and send them a text and tell them it's coming. And guess what? All of this can be automated. Every second of it.
Every second of it, exactly.
Every second of it. Except
which
for
is
the
very
phone call,
significant.
which we really want you to do.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, and which can be done absolutely with the EasyAgentPro CRM. You can create campaigns and content that will, rekey someone, kind of again and again with info. You can add attachments to those emails, all that good stuff, and absolutely can be done within EngageMore as well.
Okay.
I think those are great tips though for, the subject lines.
You've got to catch their attention right off the bat, and guaranteed if they're signing up for something real estate related, if you've made it clear that you're an agent providing them information, and even you don't even have to put your first name, and you could just call it Arizona Home Info, first name Arizona, last name Home, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you really could do that. So you just want them to open your mail and at least start showing an interest in what you're sending. So, and not only that, but the more time you get your mail open, and I'm a huge fan in the subject line of putting their first name in there.
Perfect.
Do it. You can usually, on most of ours, in mine for sure, you can put a field in there that will pull their first name in. So you've got to plan for that if you can.
Yep, you can use a dynamic modifier that will automatically search for their first name within their contact info and then pop that in there in the subject line. And that can definitely be done in EngageMore and also the EasyAgentPro CRM. So yeah, great tips there. One thing that we have been doing within EasyAgentPro is we had demoed a service called Bonjourno, which allowed us to create little video message follow-ups to either send over to leads, do a little intro before an appointment so that we could kind of introduce ourselves. What do you think about services like that kind of go more into the realm and not just like text-based?
Well, I'm a huge fan of video these days, for sure. In fact, I just got back from speaking at a conference in Savannah on video lead generation. And to be able to do it for free if you really focus on a niche. So I feel like if you're going to take the time to go create videos for community niches or just informational stuff, and putting it on YouTube, why not repurpose the stuff? So I'm a huge fan of that. So that's easy to do. Once you've got them done, you can add them to most of our email systems. Now, you can Bonjourno, Bomb, that I can tell you, I don't think you need to pay for it because my system includes it. So we show you how to create your own landing page and embed that into the code, and then embed the code real simple into the landing. You don't even need code. The link into the landing page, and so you're basically just having them click on in an image of if you wanted to, of a thumbnail, and send them there, and they can watch your video. So you can make private videos, and this just doesn't cost you anything more. It's just part of our system.
Right. Yeah.
Texting, emailing, all of that with the video is just try to get them to really connect with you. I always tell people, if you're doing an open house, get there a little early. record yourself really quickly to say, hey, thanks for visiting the open house today. I'll be getting that information out we talked about. And then it's built right into your campaign. And when they come in, if you provide, like my system has a landing page that they can come in and sign in on, a question form, fills it out, immediately turns the campaign on, and you could set it however long out you want the video to head, but it'll all be automated, you know, and you're then sending them more listings related to the area that you're sitting. So, you know, because you're probably not going to sell that house to them. You'll sell them something else, but you got to get them set up to get all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. You got to get them in the funnel, get them in the system. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is if you've got really strong campaigns and they're buyers or sellers, let's face it, take a great campaign that you have, clone it, and just get the first couple things coming out of the system to respond to them for what it is they're there for, or what they signed up to get. Because in the end, they're all buyers or sellers anyway, right? So,
yeah.
Oh, it's not that hard. It's really simple. But your campaign needs to be longer than 2 weeks. I mean, that's another issue.
Okay, great.
Go on for hours about that. You still there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So anyway, that to me is just really important. And then I think our InstaFarm pages on EasyAgentPro, oh my goodness, just getting those set up to send out, huge trend. You want to be able to send people to your website as often as possible, because the more you do, the higher you'll start to rank. And this happened to me. I mean, everyone can go check it right now. My drip campaign got me on the first page of Google with my website, or organically, because I kept driving people back over to the site.
And you were driving people specifically to an InstaFarm page.
Well, yeah, I'm not on the first page of Google yet because I've only had an EasyAgentPro site for just a couple months. But my original website that is still out there got me. Yeah, but this can happen because you guys, you know, your websites are so powerful for lead generation and also for being SEO. You know, I don't know what the word is, but you know,
friendly.
You care, yeah, SEO friendly. You care and you really push the importance of that, and that's important because without that, I mean, if you're going to go out and spend $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and I hear it all the time on leads, wouldn't it be great if you were driving people back to that niche? Eventually, you won't need to buy leads because you're starting to move up the ranks, right?
Yes.
And I'm still on the first page of Google after 5 years. I was running ads for a short time in North Phoenix, and my site's still there because of what I did.
And I mean, that's a testament too to that work because, you know, the Phoenix metro area is absolutely massive. So, you know, to still be successfully ranking that way is huge.
Yeah. And so I'm excited because I'm working to get my InstaFarm pages up that for my ads and stuff that I'm doing in Scottsdale. And it's fun to watch it, you know, to see it inside of the EasyAgentPro, dashboard. So I love it. So
fantastic. Those are great. We definitely liked. I had a ball sending out those Bonjourno videos, just kind of out to leads, and that's just another third-party service. But as you guys heard, you know, you don't necessarily have to do that embedded in email type video. You can do that like clickable thumbnail that will open it up in a new tab outside the email too. Like there's ways that you can utilize and replicate these services without having to add another $29.99 a month. You know, everything is a SaaS company now. So, you know, there's a lot of ways you can make these things happen within your current system or within EngageMore or, you know, for example, within the EasyAgentPro CRM as well.
Right. And when our system, you can just put a link straight over to YouTube and it will pull in a thumbnail and everything. So if you're really trying to get people to sign up and register and subscribe to your YouTube channel, which is huge if you can do that, and then you're posting regularly, you're going to get way better leads because people are going to start reaching out to you and be totally committed to you even before they call you. So if anyone wants any help on trying to get that set up, reach out to me because I've got a great lead on you guys learning how to do that, because you need to have an offer and you just make sure that you get people talking to you, and it doesn't cost you 1 red cent. Honestly, to do YouTube video ads, or not even ads, just YouTube video, and organically get up the ranks there, because people are out there looking at video. They're everywhere. Yeah. You know. And you can't rely on, as much as we all kind of rely on Facebook, you can't rely on Facebook all the time. You just never know. Every day I hear people got kicked off,
Exactly.
Scary.
Yes.
Scary.
Yes.
Very scary, but
it is.
and if you build your video up and you put it on your website, now you're driving people over there to look at it. And that's really awesome, because guess what they're going to do when they're there? They're going to click and run a search for homes and hopefully register.
Yes, exactly. And then hit that little heart button, or, just engage with the lead capture that's on the site. But yeah, definitely a great idea. I mean, that's a whole another topic, doing, kind of YouTube videos, for agents,
huge.
but just like any financial planner would tell you to diversify, what you're invested in, just like Patty said, you don't want to put all your eggs in a Facebook ads basket or a Google PPC basket. Kind of getting a little bit of action into each of these is a great idea. And, utilizing any CRM system, I mean, especially the two that we're talking about, EngageMore and the EasyAgentPro CRM, can help you just really effectively keep track of those folks too. So, but yeah, we could talk about that for the next 2 hours probably.
Well, let's set it up. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Patty, I just, we are kind of running out of time. I just had one last question, and I was just hoping that you could give us a little bit more info about EngageMore.
Yes.
Maybe I could even turn the screen share over to you if you wanted to do a little flash demo.
I could do it really quick. Absolutely. I would love to do that. Are we ready?
Yes. So
yeah, it says I can't share yet. So
I'm going to
there
stop
we go.
my share, and now you should be able to.
Oh, good. All right, let me go ahead and hit share. Thank you. So I just pulled up, this is actually my active real estate account that I have. So It may look like a little busy, but that's because I can set up my dashboard however I want to. So what I've been doing is tracking all the activity that's going on. When you first get into the account, one of my biggest things when I created this was to be sure, number one, that you have campaigns that are pre-built. So those are already done. The next thing is to be able to identify the hottest business. And that is, you are going to have pre-saved searches in here that are going to tell you who's opening your mail and who's clicking on links. Every single email template that we have built in the system all have buttons in them that will send people back over to your site. Now, again, I'm in a busy site, one of my busy pages here, but I'm just going to go ahead and open up one of these so you can kind of see how it's set up. We want to be sure that everybody can come out. I'm just going to hit a preview so you can see it.
Yeah, sure.
But you're basically wanting to be able to get people to click around as much as you can. We are able to pull in the fields, leads will automatically dump in. And again, we talked about our amazing integration between us and EasyAgentPro. So if somebody signs up over there, you just get your path set up. Well, first you just do the quick integration and just have the two talk to each other. And then you just say, all right, I'm going to do an InstaFarm page or whatever it is, or a landing page to get someone to sign up. And then we send them into a campaign, and the campaign's already set up. You basically just take a good one that we have the campaign run, and then we have people clicking. So when they click on these, they're going to go, when these are built automatically to pull in your website.
And this is set up when you come on with EngageMore. Yeah. This isn't like a process that you have to go through.
No, these are already coded in order to fit, to add in your stuff, so you don't have to do it. So this is just an example of, say, one of the emails that we have. It's automatic when you pull your footer in, so you don't have to come in. You just set the stuff up. We send you through a quick start training, so everything's set up. And you don't have to learn it like you would go into other CRMs and go, where do I start? Because I'm literally giving you the training on where to start. And once you're in here, you've got all these templates. And so let me just go
amazing.
Close. Again, for me, I've got a whole lot of other stuff in here because this is my active account. So I've built a lot of other things.
Right. So there's quite a bit in here. Yeah.
Right. So we have, currently we have two different levels, and our top you're getting exactly the same software and everything. The difference between it is what you're getting in the content. So we're giving you up over 30 drip campaigns for all different types of things. So you can see I have a drop down for buyers, I have a drop down for sellers. All of these campaigns are already pre-built for you. So you don't have to do this. Now, I'm just going to go into this FSBO campaign really quick and just show you
beautiful
press view so you can see. This isn't 1 week worth of content. This is pre-built and a year long, this particular one, and it's a combination of email and texting. this particular campaign, because it's a FISBO, we don't over-text. That's one of my rules, because people will opt out really fast to that, especially if they didn't expect to hear from you.
Yeah, because I see some delays there of 3 days, you know, like pretty healthy space in there.
Well, it just depends on, you know, what the ad, most of them are going to be heavier in the front end for a newer lead that's coming in, but then as we get down, it's going to spread out, right? And then we're going to notify you when the campaign's over too, so you can make a decision if you want to do something else. The other cool thing is we just finished this recently. We had a 1-year video holiday campaign in here, and we now have a 5-year video holiday campaign in here. So it's video that is set up from your real estate specialist. All the campaigns are done, and then it repeats after 5 years. So the people won't know that, oh, I saw this video 5 years ago. It's just going to repeat. So my goal is to get 5 years in here. But we have Sphere campaigns, we have rental campaigns, I have Spanish campaigns, Sphere campaigns, and then, you know, anything you want to do to be able to integrate, we can integrate out of the system too. So if you love voice message drops or BombBomb, or you want to hook up with send out cards or banner season, whatever the heck they call. There's so much it can do. But the big difference between what I do and what everybody else does is that I'm a real estate agent teaching you how to do this. And so when you're in here, you've got all the different training in here that you can come in, and I start you at the Jumpstart course, and we make sure that you understand what you're doing and
amazing
set up in here, right? And then, you know, you get in and get running, you re-engage old leads, start getting people talking to you, have text in here, email, everything you need. So how you sign up, we'll get to that. You just go over to EngageMoreCRM.com, and you can come in and watch a full demo here if you'd like. You can see the people that have been in the system, and then get over to the pricing page. And you know, I'm going to tell you, we're not the cheapest, but guess what you're getting? You're getting training and content from somebody who's been here and done this.
Yes.
All the same stuff. But you don't look for cheap, you guys. Please understand. And again, I can't even reiterate how much time and money are you spending on your lead generation, and you don't have follow-up in place. It's the follow-up that's going to help you close these things. So if I can help you close just one extra deal a month, what will that do to your income? Just one extra deal. I'll get more than that if you work this. I promise.
Amazing.
And our agents are doing that, but this is like a no-brainer because it's all built for you, and I'm going to show you how to do it. By the way, I also go live. You have I have a private Facebook group membership, so once you twice a week I go live in there, and you can ask me anything you want, Q&A.
Love it, absolutely.
Because I'm not going to let you fall off, you know, the wall and hit your head when you get in here.
Love to hear that, Patty. That's kind of the same way that we feel. That's you know, with a service, you know, kind of like this, we want to make sure that, you know, you are absolutely happy when you're using it. So
trial, so if you're just not sure, get on in. You're not going to get the full meal deal because of the content, but it's, you know, it's pretty digital content heavy in here. But we're going to give you the lead revival course so you can get up and running re-engagement campaigns, so you can start seeing that it works. And if I can, once you turn that campaign on and start getting responses from people within 15 minutes or less, you're gonna be committed to staying here and using it and changing your business. Amazing.
Okay, great. Well, on that note, we are going to go ahead and get wrapped up. I want to thank Patty again so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I've been dropping comments below our live here that will be connected back to the live stream, as you guys see. So EngageMoreCRM.com is where you can find out more info. And then if you guys have any other questions or anything along those lines, feel free to comment them below. Either I'll answer them, I'll try to get them in front of Patty maybe too, if they're really juicy. And thank you so much for joining us today, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you again, Patty.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See you guys soon, I hope. Get in
Bye
here.
Bye now.
Bye.